Testing. Oh, here we go. Oh my goodness. Good morning, everybody. It's Elena of the Witches Box, and I'm here with another Friday gathering for the live meditation that we do together every Friday at 10 o'clock Pacific time. Um, Let me just double check because I started this without sound, but I think we're good. So, good morning. For those of you who've never joined us before, we do this every Friday. We get together and I lead us all through a guided meditation live, but then we leave these on YouTube so that you have a repository of resources for yourself so that you can come back and do any of these meditations over and over again as much as you want. Typically, we'll do a little chat in the beginning. I tell you what we're going to do, a little bit of the intention and what to expect, and then we hang out and chat a little bit at the end. I definitely encourage all of you to pull together for yourselves before you participate and get on this live things that really help facilitate your meditation. So if you want to light a candle before we start to kind of help set the space and the mood, do that. Some people like to have added incense, your altar, whatever it is that facilitates you going into the journey deeper, do that. And have it ready before we start, because once we start, and it's nice to kind of get in on it together. So let me take a quickie drink. We are a little early by like a couple of minutes, but that's totally okay. Early is not a bad thing. You know me, I'm always here early, and then I want to just make sure that things are working. And today, for whatever reason, my sound was a little wonky, but I think that it's actually working. So, because I see the little movements. In any case, check in with me. How are you doing? What's going on? Hello, Emily. Welcome. We may have some late stragglers. We'll see how it goes. In fact, while we wait for people to come, I'm going to click this over. Tell me how you're doing. And so I got these two screens, and I like to kind of position the guided meditation in a way that lets me see the numbers and the people. It's a whole thing. What else do I want to say before we really get in on it? No major announcements. The last of the Mercury boxes went out in the mail, I think yesterday. They are already arriving at people's homes, which is exciting. It's the last of our Planetary Magic series boxes. We do have a couple of those extra ones on sale right now, so you can go check that out at thewitchesbox.com. We have just a mini handful. I think we have 5 left, if I'm not mistaken, of the Evo Dominguez Jr. bundle of books. It's Spirit Speaks and oh goodness, The Keys to Perception, if I'm not mistaken. I'm really just getting worse and worse at remembering anything at this point. I'm so sorry. And I think that that's it. There's also an announcement that's kind of a temporary announcement going live on Monday here on YouTube. So stay tuned for that with the BookTube video that's going live. And I think that that's it for announcements. Actually, so I think we are on the 12th today. So in a few days, the full moon ritual modules will be going live on the Moon Ritual Coven group. If you're not participating in that, please join us. It's simple. It's really just a membership designed to give you a script for a ritual for the new moon, the full moon, and the dark moon of each month with some lessons and teachings. And also you get a script for a group ritual if you want to participate or do a group ritual with the people around you that you know, or if you want to do a group ritual online. It's really geared towards those of you who are like, I want to practice, I want to do ritual, but I have no idea how to get it done. And I also don't have the time. I do that for you. I give you the script, and then you can just do the rituals on your own. And then we have a forum where all of us who are doing the same ritual at each lunar phase get together and talk about it. So that's available. Thank you, Emily. Emily posted the link to all those things. So the link to the Mercury box, the link to the Evo books, and the link to the Moon Ritual Coven. I'm going to wait a couple more minutes to see if anyone is here to say hello and check in. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about this meditation for today. And then we'll go into it. This is a little bit of a shorter one today. So It's short, but it's very sweet, and it's really designed to just kind of give you a little burst of energy and openness for your day. And it's an easy one to do at any point. So it's a nice one. Hi, Kay. How are you? You say, oh, you're still in the hospital. That's right. Going to a skilled nursing facility until I can climb the stairs, still in a lot of pain. Much love. But you're here, woman. I'm so happy that you're here. Obviously, things went well. Yeah. So we were sending you energy last week, and love to send you more energy now for a speedy recovery, and also gentle patience with yourself, because the healing can take time. The body needs a lot of space and a lot of love and nourishment to do what it needs to do. So I'm glad that you're here. Thank you for showing up. Wonderful. All right, let me take a drink. And a breath. All right, so this meditation is simple. As I said before, it's about the power of the breath, but it's also about the power of union with the elements around us. I know that it's called self-nourishing because you're the one taking the nourishment in, but it's very specifically about the way that we approach things and the way that we view things. Sometimes the reframe of how we're actually doing something can create an immense and really empowering shift in the energy and what we receive from the things that we're doing. So this is really a breathing meditation with a little dose of union. And I know that we don't really talk about union a lot here. It's much more of a tantric thing, but we are one with everything. We are made up of all the elements. We're made up of fire and earth and air and water. And when we commune with these things, we come into union with each other. We come into engagement with each other if we do it in a way that is open. Oftentimes, when we're breathing, sometimes we breathe just from the neck up. And I know that we inhale into our lungs, but we're like at this, right, this very short, stunted, shallow breathing just to kind of get by. And very much the pace and the rhythm of our breath is a mirror reflection of how we are spiritually, intellectually, and emotionally in a situation. Sometimes our bodies are holding so much that we can't breathe very deeply or very slowly because we're just in the holding. And being in a state of surrender and receptivity can do a lot towards opening us up, so that not only is our body receiving more, which is nourishing, but we are also able to really interact with and commune with the world around us more. Excuse me. Kay said that yes, the surgery went well. So I'm very, very happy about that. Thank you. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for keeping us in the loop. And I love that you're here. That's amazing. I'm hoping for you that you are surrounded by comfort. So we're going to send you some comfort as well, because sometimes being in a facility or a hospital can be a little not so comfortable. So one of the things that in the last couple of years, I've sat hospital bedside for two people in my family who just needed someone to be there. Fluffy socks are critical in a hospital. It can be so miserably cold, and the socks that they give you are these rough, ugly things that are just not good on the feet. So yeah, hopefully someone has brought you some fluffy socks, and if not, ask for them, because they can do a lot for your comfort level, let me tell you. All right, let me take another drink because I'm really dehydrated today. I don't know what's going on. Let me look at all my things before I start to transition us into the meditation. All right, my loves. Yeah, let's do it. I forgot the candle today. I'm very sorry about that. So if you are all ready, let's close our eyes and make a transition for ourselves so that we can get relaxed, sit comfortably. Ideally, this meditation is great if you are sitting upright. So you can sit with your legs crossed if you're on the floor, or you can sit with your feet on the ground if you're on a chair, so that your knees are together but not pressed together. You want to just sit in a relaxed way, but stack your spine on top of itself so that you have a straight spine. Not rigid, but straight. Yeah. We do that because when you're doing breathing and energy is moving in and out of your body, you are allowing for your energy streams or your energy channels in your body to be unobstructed by bends and joints and kinks. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let me really quickly pin this. All right. Okay, so you've closed your eyes. Start tuning into the natural flow of your breath. And don't change anything. Just start by paying attention. What does your breath sound like and feel like in your body? Is it shallow? Is it deep? Is it quick or is it slow? Just check in with yourself. What is your natural state of breathing right now? Now slowly begin to breathe with intention, where you're lengthening the breath, the in breath, and the out breath. You're deepening how far the air flows into you. And then you're savoring as much of that air as you can by letting it go slowly. Play with these sensations until you land on a long, slow, deep rhythm that feels good in your body. Breathe with increasing steadiness through your body and sinking into that natural rhythm that you found. Keep the breathing going. And now begin to practice relaxing your body with each exhale, releasing tension and distractions. So take some time to scan your body. Are you holding anywhere? Is there anything that's clenched or tight or maybe a little sore? You can direct your in breath to that area of your body. Take it one at a time. And you inhale into it to energize it, draw attention to it, empowering it. And then with your exhale, try to release even just a little bit of that tension, letting go, dissipating some of that energy, riding your breath in and out to relax that part of your body. And then when you feel ready, move on to the next so that you kind of scan and tend to all of these areas in your body that might be holding right now and that can use a little release. Take your time. This is you tending to yourself and to your body. So sometimes we feel like, oh, maybe I don't have any tense or tight spots, but what do you feel right now as you're sitting here, with your eyes closed, turning inward? Maybe your jaw's a little tight, but you weren't aware that your jaw was tight. You can open and close it, try to relax it while directing your breath to it. Sometimes there's a funky tightness in our throat, maybe our eyes. You check in with our feet. Tension can hide in all sorts of places, and we don't realize it's there until we check in. Almost like touching into each part of ourselves. Check in with the toes, with the feet, the ankles, the calves, the knees, the thighs, the hips, lower back, the belly, torso, the chest, the shoulders, arms, elbows, hands, right? We have all of these parts of ourselves that can hold so much for us. So when we check in with spaciousness and with tenderness, we can stop at any of these places within us to give a little bit of attention, or a lot, right? The breath is energy. The breath is healing, and it allows an opportunity for release. Do another round of check-in with your body to see what needs attention. Our minds are this way too, aren't they? So you're going to find that distractions come in, and rather than battle with them or feel negatively about how they keep coming in, even though you don't want them to, just acknowledge them. A distraction comes in, we acknowledge it for what it is, and then with our exhale, we just let it go and return our attention to the breath. Distractions are a wonderful gift this way because it keeps reminding us to go back to the breath. Keep going back to the breath. And these wonderful reminders will come through all along the meditation, this one and every other meditation that you ever do. They're like divine reminders to go back to the breath. Now, as you're sitting there, breathing into your body, checking in with yourself, pay attention to your hands. I want you to place them on your thighs or your knees with the palms facing up. So they're open, but they're relaxed and they face upwards. This is a posture of openness and receptivity. You are opening to receive. It's also a gentle posture of surrender. And surrender not in a negative connotation where we've given up, but surrender as in letting go, releasing the holding. You are open to receive and surrendered in a beautiful way of spiritual trust. How does that feel? What does that idea bring up for you? Does it feel like a relief? Or is there a lot of resistance? Check in with yourself to see what just this one shift has created in you. And then make note of it with no judgment. Nothing has gone wrong or right. It just is. Begin to inhale the air around you, knowing that it wants to be received by you, right? We are now in a new posture. We are open and receiving and surrendered. And even if that becomes challenging or it feels like it's too difficult, the intention still stands. You are safe. You are in your power and agency, and you've chosen to receive and to open and to surrender to what is. So, from this place, understand that the air that you are breathing wants to be received by you. It desires you. It is offering itself to you for sustenance, for nourishment, and for pleasure. You are not taking anything. You are in a dance, in a conversation with the air around you. You receive as a gift from the air that wants to be received by you, and then the exhale is a prayer of gratitude. Continue breathing this way in a beautiful conversation with the air that you're dancing with, because it's a dance, it's a conversation, it's got rhythm like a dance. There's union here. The two of you are engaging in this union. And know that because the air wants to be received by you, when you receive it openly, you are giving it a gift as well. You're giving the air the pleasure of having what it needs and wants. Continue playing with this for a while also checking in with yourself to see how this feels and what it might bring up. Now let's take this conversation deeper. Draw in the air with your whole body, as if your body is a lung. So you are expanding to receive and to be filled, and then gently collapsing with a slow, relaxing exhale. So the whole of your body expands to receive this air. And then when it comes time to release, to exhale, it's like as if your entire body collapses in a gentle relaxation to let all the air out. In with your whole body and out with your whole body. And keep breathing in this way, weaving gratitude into each and every exhale that you offer back to the air around you. You are in communion with this entity of air in a dance of receiving and giving. So you receive and then you give. When you feel ready, check in with yourself. How do you feel and how does your body feel? Is there new tension or is there less tension? Is there emotion that's come up? Is there still story around receiving in this way? Being in a dance or communion in this way and how intimate it can be? Check in and acknowledge what's come up for you. And then weave that awareness into the conversation that you are having with the air that you are breathing. Receive from the air as a whole person, feeling and thinking all the things that you are right now. Allow this to be part of the vulnerability of this dance. There's an intimacy here. We breathe every day and we don't think about it. It's an unconscious, behind the scenes thing that we do, and we don't take a moment or the space to acknowledge that we are in communion every second of every day. And the whole of who we are is engaged in this communion, in this exchange. It's a beautiful relationship that we take for granted. and it has so much that it gives us. You are open and you are receiving freely. There's no hook or bargain here, there's no manipulation here. The air gives freely and wants to be received. And then our part of the engagement is the gratitude. And that's just the beginning. Because when we do this, when we fully show up for this relationship and this conversation, we receive and we give nourishment. You are nourished by the air that you breathe, and you are a million times more nourished when it's done with consciousness and with presence. And then the exchange is beautiful because you give it back, changed, touched by you, and laced and woven through with gratitude. Nothing is lost when you receive this way because you give back. More is created, and the nourishment in you stays. If you look at this as the intimate relationship that it is, how does that change the way you receive the air that you breathe and the way you give it back when you exhale? Play with this a little bit and continue practicing your breath. When you are ready, shift the breathing back to your lungs, still in conversation, but beginning to wind down. And then linger here a little bit, breathing now from your lungs, still in the conversation, still in the exchange, and still receiving so, so much. And you can shift the intention so that you are receiving gratitude as you inhale, and you are still giving gratitude when you exhale. So the air is grateful. And every inhale that you draw in isn't just nourishment. It's gratitude for being in this present time conversation, an intimate exchange with you. You are inhaling gratitude and you're exhaling your gratitude. And when the conversation feels complete, bow to the air and to yourself internally in gratitude, because the conversation and the exchange continues long after you've stopped sitting in this space and being present with it. And you can also tap back into this conversation and exchange whenever you want. So when you say thank you and goodbye for now, open your eyes and return to this space that we share. Take your time coming back, and if you need to do a little bit of journal writing to note down anything that may have come up for you that you want to look at later, go ahead and do so now. Mm. And then I'm going to share a couple of quick notes about this meditation. So, the title is a self nourishing meditation, but it seems like the focus is on the relationship. And I wanted to kind of tie those two things together in case it just wasn't obvious. But when we are in presence, right, in real time presence with something that's happening, that's always happening with us, we receive so much nourishment from it. We're paying attention not just to our bodies and to letting the air that we take for granted every day do its magic within us, because we need oxygen to live, we need oxygen to heal. The more oxygenated our blood is, the better we function, right? There's very real life health implications to the way that we breathe. But it also changes the way our mind works, the way our spirit works. It helps alleviate things like depression and anxiety, right? There's a lot that happens from the breathing. But we don't really ever look at breathing as an intimate relationship and exchange between us and a very vital element that we work with every single day. So when we come into stillness and we come into silence, right, and we start to really pay attention to what's happening here, we understand that this is a dance. It's an intimate dance that's constantly occurring, whether we're paying attention to it or not. It's incredibly intimate. We're taking air into our bodies and then releasing it in a very different form. There's a chemical exchange, right, that goes on in our bodies so that we exhale less oxygen, more, I think it's CO2. Don't quote me if I'm wrong on exactly what the carbon number is, right? But there's a dance, and as we draw in that air, we are changed, we are touched, no matter what state we might be in. And when we give it back, it's the same thing. And it can be very much a very worshipful and very honoring relationship where we're taking in what wants to be received by us, and we're giving back beautiful gratitude because we're sustained, because we're nourished, because we are healed in some way, and because we get to engage in relationship with this beautiful element. So there's a lot that can be done here with this, and it's an easy enough thing to do. You can stop anytime during your day to have one or two breaths that are really anchored in this awareness and consciousness and the intention. And it's enough to really give us a really massive amount of nourishment, energetic nourishment, and actual physical nourishment, and psychological nourishment, right? Because we know now that when we breathe this way, when we enter into a meditative state, even if it's just for a minute, our minds, our chemical processes, they change, they shift, and they create more spaciousness in our lives so that we can manage and deal with whatever might be coming our way. So there's just so many layers to it, and it's really important to understand those layers. But even if we don't understand what those layers are, just the doing still gives us great shift and effects, right? So it really still benefits us in a beautiful way. And I think magically, as witches, the fact that we are putting gratitude out into the world with each of our exhales is also, it's magic. We shift the frequency of the energy around us, and that touches everything. So that's the meditation for today. It's a small group. You guys are not very chatty, but if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and put them on now. If not, we'll close out. If you're watching this on the replay, thank you. And again, we will timestamp this so that you can come back to this and just do the meditation itself if you just want to skip through the intro and the outro. But it's definitely one that you can take with you and learn easily. You don't necessarily need to have me lead you through it because it's just such an easy meditation to practice, and the ramifications of it are really wide reaching. So I would love to hear how this affected you, what may have come up for you, because it's also, again, when we move energy, things get unstuck, things kind of loosen up and start to come up a little bit. And that can be emotion, that could be tension, that can be a lot of things. And if that comes up for you, keep breathing. I mean, you have to keep breathing no matter what, but when you keep breathing with this level of intention and presence, we move through those things that we've been holding, and that's where the healing is. So like that, you're welcome, Tay, and welcome. I don't think I've seen you here before, so welcome to the meditation. And that's it for today. We will be back next Tuesday for a live gathering again here on YouTube at 1 o'clock Pacific time. There'll be an oracle reading for the week, and we'll do a live witchcraft chat together. It's fun. Monday, there is a new booktube video coming out. And then next Friday, we'll do a live guided meditation again with a whole other theme. So that's it, my loves. And Dora says, this meditation is what I needed this week and today. Thank you so much. I feel so my emotional tension melt away. Beautiful. Yes, it can be a wonderful release that way. Absolutely. All right, my loves. That's it. Short and sweet. I'm kind of hoping that for my Friday. Short and sweet is what I'm hoping for my Friday. So I will be thinking about you as I go into my day, and just give yourself as much tenderness and spaciousness as you can. And we will talk next week. Take care. Bye.